Curtains open. There is a couch setting center stage. Two characters are seated on the couch close to one another.
Charlie, are you sure we should be doing this?
I know this is a little weird, but I think it's important for us to tell her story. If we can't be with our kids in person, I want to find a way to communicate with them. I know filming ourselves is a bit awkward, but it's important to tell our story.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, do you remember how we first met?
Huh. I forget. I can barely remember my name these days.
Come on, Charlie. Please tell me you're joking.
I was just teasing. Of course I remember. I remember showing up to that hayride with David Sounder and thinking, man, who is the girl with Dave? She's definitely out of his league.
Hey, be nice to Dave. He may be a bit stiff, but he was the best man at our wedding. And if it weren't for him, we would have never met.
You're right. I should probably thank Dave for being such a boring date that it allowed me to meet you.
Yep, good old Dave. I wonder how different our life would have been if we didn't know him.
Oh, I know we would have met eventually. I think we were destined to be together.
Jeez, you're so cheesy.
I remember I was friends with that gal, Meryl, who also went to Henderson Secretary School, and she told me she was bringing her friend Allie to that party in Balzac.
Poor Meryl. She completely ruined her jacket that evening trying to put out that fire. Who would have thought that a wiener roast could have caused that field to set on fire?
Oh, man. And Kenny Thompson, he lost his damn keys, and we spent hours looking through all the grass and burnt coats trying to find them.
I thought the hayride was fun until Tommy fell off and got run over.
Luckily for old Tommy, had a few beers in him at that point, so probably didn't hurt him as bad.
Come on, Charlie. The man broke his arm. You would think he felt something.
Are you kidding? Don't you remember he was the one that was getting you those drinks out of the bathtub? He couldn't have been in that much pain.
Oh, Lord, Southern Comfort. I can't even think of that stuff. It makes me nauseous.
Yeah, I often wondered why you picked that out of all the damn things floating in the tub. I ended up holding your hair back while you emptied your guts over the toilet later that night.
Well, I hadn't done much drinking before. In fact, I think that was my first time.
Yeah, well, that explains it. I can't believe you have 5 brothers and not one of them slipped you like a drink growing up.
Well, there was that one time Donnie and I got into the end of Mom and Dad's beer cans, and eventually they caught us, and I never heard the end of it. Being the only girl, I was expected to be a lady.
Yeah, well, being the only boy, it was my job to cause trouble. Joni and my mom were so close, and I spent all my time out in the field with Dad.
I will never forget the story of you riding your horse to school when you were 11.
Yeah, that was pretty traumatic.
I understand that in Saskatchewan you had no choice but to ride your horse. But for it to die on the way to school, God, what did you tell your teacher?
Nothing. Joni kept going on to class, and I went home and got my dad, who gave me a licking and told me it was my fault the horse died, which he realized it wasn't when we got there with the tractor to scoop the dead thing off the road. He said, Chuck, that's a pretty damn good reason to skip school, if you ask me.
God, I can hardly imagine.
Yeah, Saskatchewan was a pretty interesting place to grow up. My dad always said that the day starts at 6 a.m. Let me tell you, the only time I ever slept in is when I had the damn flu, and even then, my dad got me up to do the chores.
Hey, I didn't have it easy either. Being the only girl in a house with 5 brothers was not a cakewalk, let me tell you. I was always breaking up a fight or getting caught in the middle of an argument. And if I wasn't doing that, I was helping my mom doing chores and picking up for all the boys' slack. Sometimes I thought about running away, or what would happen if I stopped helping and I let my brothers get in trouble.
Well, I can tell you, your dad would have not been very happy.
Well, he wouldn't have known. He was always away for work, and poor mom was left to deal with all 5 children by herself. Sometimes I felt like I didn't have a dad, but then when he would come home from work, everything was all right again, and I was so happy to see him. Then Monday would roll around, and everything would be back to the way it was before. Just me, mom, and my 5 brothers.
Do you think that's how our kids felt?
Charlie, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by that at all.
Well, I know, but it's the truth. I was always traveling for work, and you were at home with 3 kids.
Yes, but we made it work. We didn't have a choice. Someone needed to be at home with James, and the other had to work, no matter what that meant.
You're right. I just feel guilty that you were alone with our sick son and 2 other children. Sometimes I wonder if I hadn't been away for work so much, if I would have had a better connection with our kids.
You have a great relationship with the kids. What are you going on about? And I wasn't alone. And it's not like you had it easy setting up those telephone lines in -40 weather. We all made sacrifices. For Charlie and I don't regret our life. Do you really think we would have lasted 55 years if there hadn't been some bumps in the road?
I don't know, Alice. When the kids call here, they always ask for you first. And ever since we've been shut down with the pandemic, I've had lots of time to think about the past.
Well, isn't that part of the reason why we're making this video? So you can get your second chance to tell our story and to leave a story for our kids and grandkids to remember us by?
Yeah, you're right. You didn't need to get so morbid on me there. It's not like we're dying.
I'm just so sick of this whole COVID-19 nonsense. All I ever hear or see on the news is how people are dying and the virus is only getting worse. Hell, just think, my best friend died during quarantine and I didn't even get to say goodbye. I think with all this time alone, to think death is always in the back of my mind.
I understand that. I've been thinking a lot about it too. We haven't seen our kids or our friends in almost a year, and as much as I love you, one can only do so many puzzles.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to lose my mind looking at a 2,000-piece puzzle of birds for days on end.
Well, there's one thing we can tell our kids. We've made it almost a year of quarantine, and we haven't killed each other yet.
I feel myself getting closer and closer every day. Let me tell you, mister.
So where should we start?
I think we start with the bonfire in Balzac.
Deal.
Transition into flashback of the bonfire where they first met. Young Charlie and young Alice emerge from backstage.
Hey, what's your name?
Pardon me?
Your name? What's your name?
Oh, sorry. It's Alice Smith.
Alice? Nice to meet you. I'm Charlie.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So that string bean you came here with, is he your boyfriend?
Excuse me?
Is he your boyfriend? Look, I'm just trying to see if I stand a shot here, because no offense, the guy looks as exciting as a blade of grass, and you're the prettiest girl here, so you can see why I'm a bit confused.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
I'd like to think so. Look, I know this is a bit straightforward, but if you're looking to ditch the stiff, I'll be here all night.
Wow, someone's confident.
Gotta be these days. Worst case scenario, you reject me and I end up looking like a fool. Best case scenario, I get to go home with the prettiest girl at this hayride. See you later, Alice.
Yeah, see you.
Transition back to current Charlie and Alice.
See, I knew I won you over with that line.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth, and it definitely left an impression.
Who would have thought that a cheesy pickup line like that would have got me 1 beautiful wife, 3 beautiful children, and 4 amazing grandchildren?
Oh, now you're happy about 3 kids. Took me months to convince you to try for a third.
Well, the trying was not the problem. It was the cost. I was...
Charlie, quiet. Our kids are going to be seeing this. We are filming, remember?
Well, they have to know their parents have private lives. There are 3 of them.
Yes, but they don't need to hear us discuss it.
Okay, fine. I I am happy we had 3 like always. You were right.
Well, there was that one time you were right.
Exactly. And I will never let you live that down.
Transition into young Charlie and Alice snuggled up on a couch together.
What do you think of the name Joseph if it's a boy?
Joseph? I don't know. Joseph makes me think of Joseph Stalin, and that seems like a path we don't want to go down.
Seriously? Ugh, fine. Okay, how about Crystal if it's a girl?
Please tell me you're joking. Crystal sounds like a streetwalker name.
Charlie! That's a terrible thing to say. Streetwalker. All right, mister. If you're so smart, why don't you come up with some ideas?
What about Ivy if it's a girl, and James if it's a boy?
Damn it.
What?
I don't want to admit it, but I like those names.
Wow, you're telling me that I actually came up with a better idea than you for once in our whole marriage?
Hey, don't let it get to your head, hotshot. This one time.
One really important time.
Very true. So, James and Ivy, are these our top choices? Where did you even come up with those names?
Okay, don't laugh, but I was doing some research the other day at work. I got my secretary to bring me one of those baby name books, and these were my top 2 choices. James means supplanter and is the name of many British kings. Ivy means faithful and has Welsh origins, just like us. So, do you think we can let me have this win?
Wow, Charlie, I don't know what to say. You are pretty damn cheesy. I love that you care so much. We've been through so much together. I love you so much.
I love you too. And I think we're going to make some pretty damn fine parents.
Yeah, I think so too.
Transition back to current Charlie and Alice. Scene change, couches switched.
I wish naming all our kids was that easy.
Yeah, James is lucky we agreed on that one right away.
Especially poor Ivy. I think by the 3rd time around, we were practically at each other's throats coming up with the name ideas.
Well, of course we took time with Ivy. She's our only girl and our last child. We had to get it right.
I've always felt weird that we use my middle name to name her. Seems a bit narcissistic.
What are you talking about? We did the same thing with Eddie.
True, but I always loved your middle name.
Yeah, and I always loved yours.
Do you remember that big argument we had before Eddie was born?
How could I forget? That was the worst week of my life.
Me too. I don't know if it was the hormones or what, but I never expect to blow up at you like that.
Honestly, me neither, but I deserved it. I was really absent in our marriage and in James' life at that point.
I think for me, it was the pressure of feeling alone with a 2-year-old while you were away at work and our second child arriving any day.
I remember feeling so scared. I was ready to be a dad to James, but Eddie was a surprise, and I think my mind was just on the finances.
It was definitely a surprise, that's for sure. But we figured it out eventually, especially when we decided that the kids will always come first.
Yes, and I agree. I think when we had to put our social life on hold, it was hard, but James and Eddie were more important.
Yeah, exactly. I kept reminding myself of that during the week when you were at work, that times may be tough, but the boys will always come first.
Transition, Charlie and Alice are standing in the living room. Charlie's dressed to leave for work with a suitcase in hand. Alice is very pregnant and looking uncomfortable and unkept.
Fine, just go, Charlie. Just leave. I know that's what you want. Go back to living your bachelor lifestyle and pretend you don't have a wife and a son who need you. But what the hell do you care?
Now, what do you really think? That I like leaving you? I miss you the whole time you were gone, and it's hard for me.
Bullshit, Charlie. When you're home, your mind is not even at home. You're on the phone with your boss or someone talking about where you're putting the next lineup. I swear, all that goes through your head sometimes is the damn telephone lines.
Take a breath, Allie. I think the pregnancy is making you act crazy.
What the hell did you just say to me? Did you just call me crazy? Because if that's what you said, Charlie Edward, then you better walk your ass out that door and not come back. Is it crazy that I'm taking care of this family? Is it crazy that I'm raising our son? Is it crazy that I'm up every night wondering if he's going to stop breathing in his sleep?
Alice, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Child crying and coughing noises.
Just go, Charlie. Our son needs me.
Blackout. Transition back into current Charlie and Alice.
I have a question for you, Al.
What's that?
Did you ever resent me when I was away at work?
Charlie, what kind of question is that?
Please be honest, Alice. I need to know.
I don't know how to answer this. Charlie, can we turn the camera off?
No. This is important for our kids to know. There may be tough times in their marriages, and they need to know that no matter what happens, love comes first.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Yes. Please just answer the question.
Okay. At times, yes, I did resent you. I was jealous that you got to walk away from the hardships, especially when James got sick. I wanted to run away too. I wanted to pretend that our son wasn't sick and in the hospital all the time. And I felt like you had to take on those struggles 2 days a week. That's it. When things got hard, you got to pack up and leave for work. And I was constantly in the struggle and constantly worrying about our son. I love you, Charlie, and I understand that you had to work to keep us afloat. But at times, yeah, I did resent that you got to escape.
I always felt guilty leaving you every Monday knowing that James' asthma may act up and you would be spending your week in the hospital again. It was so hard for me that I removed myself from the emotions and just focused on what I needed to get done in the moment, and that was making money to provide for our family. I think that's why I was so absent before Eddie, and when he said he wanted to leave, my whole world collapsed around me. It's funny. For all the grief our kids gave us the day Ivy moved out with Michael and it was just the two of us, I don't know if I ever felt so alone.
I know exactly what you mean. I didn't know if we should be happy because we had the house to ourselves and we were finally only responsible for each other, or if we should cry. Because if I'm being honest, Charlie, I had no idea what to do with myself.
Yeah, that was a hard time for you. I never told you this, but I walked in on you one day sitting on the bed in Eddie's old room, sobbing, and my heart broke because I realized our kids were your whole life. And like you said before, I had my job and our finances on my brain that I could always escape to, but your job was being a mom, and this was definitely a change in your role.
Wow, I can't believe you never told me that. It was definitely hard for me. I felt like I was grieving my old life as a mom and transitioning into my new role as a mother and friend.
Transition into young Charlie and Alice. Alice is coming home from the store, bags in hand. Charlie's setting up a romantic dinner for the two of them.
Hey, hon, I'm home. Charlie, are you here?
1 second, Al. I'll be right there.
Charlie, what is this? What's going on?
Hey, I thought we could have a night in, just the two of us.
Anniversary or anything?
Well, I know it has been hard for you ever since the kids moved out, and I want to remind you that although we may have be empty nesters now, that there are benefits to having the house to ourselves.
You are so sweet. Just let me put my bags down and I'll change into something nicer.
No, don't. I love you just the way you are.
Transition into current Charlie and Alice.
We used to have so much fun together.
Hey, we still have fun, but we may be older now, but I love spending time with you.
I do too. Sometimes I just miss having a house full of kids.
Well, I can tell you one thing, whether they were living in the house or not, our kids have always been so lucky to have a mom like you, and now a grandma as amazing as you.
You're sweet, Charlie. But you're right. If we thought being parents was an adventure, the day we became grandparents, the journey continued.
Transition into car scene with young Charlie and Alice. Broken car noises play as lights come up. Young Charlie and Alice in the car.
You have to be kidding me, Charlie. This cannot be happening. Ivy is having a baby. We need to be there.
Al, I don't know what you want me to do. It's the middle of January in Alberta. The car's not having it today.
Well, we better figure something out because I am not missing the birth of our granddaughter. And if someone remembered to plug in the car last night, we would not be having this problem.
Come on. I already said I was sorry. I'm stressed too. I was up all night worrying about Ivy. I was a little bit distracted.
Honey, normally I would find that incredibly sweet, but we need to figure something out. We cannot miss the birth of our first grandchild. I'll never forgive myself.
I'm calling a cab.
A cab? Are they even running in this weather?
I'm not sure, honey, but this is our best option.
Okay, well, they better hurry up and get here. Go inside and phone them, now.
Lights up on current Charlie and Alice, sitting on the couch in the same living room.
I still do not know how we did that 3 more times.
Yeah, no kidding. We thought the stress of the birth of our kids was hard 3 times. Try the birth of your grandkids 4 times.
Yeah, they turned out all right, though.
Don't be rude. They turned out more than all right. They are perfect.
Well, come on now, Alice. No one is perfect, except for me, of course.
Oh, you be quiet. You forget the kids will hear this.
Yeah, you're right. We should probably wrap things up here. What do you want to say to them?
What I want you to know, kids, that yes, your dad and I fought, and yes, times were hard for both of us, but I never lost faith in him or our marriage.
Your mother is right, kids. Especially in the times we are facing right now, when we can't be together, it is important to remember that times are tough, but we will always love each other. I think this is why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to give us something to connect over. We may seem like out-of-touch old goats, but we truly want the best for you all.
I hope this video is helpful and gives you some understanding into our relationship. This is something I wish I had from my parents, and I'm sure your dad feels the same. We often forget that someone has walked this road before us, and we are not alone.
So kids, I hope this wasn't too weird for you. I know your mother can be embarrassing.
Hey!
But we made this, so you know that we're all in this together, and hey, maybe it gave you a reason to smile.
Charlie smiles, looking at Alice, and leans forward to turn off the camera. As this happens, lights black out.